Hello and welcome to The Reasons I'm Broke. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelli.
And this is our first one of 2013. This is number 17. And we've got a lot of really good comics, a lot of highly anticipated stuff as well, especially on the Adventure Time front. But we're going to go ahead and start off with the one Marvel book that we got this week. That's Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, number 19. This starts off the Venom War arc. This was your first Ultimate Spider-Man book that you've read. Did you read Spider-Man? I can't remember.
No.
Okay, so number 19 again. We talked about Venom last time, how he was going to be introduced. He did kill off one of the reporters that J. Jonah Jameson was just done talking to. That was in, I believe, 18.1 or 16.1. Really good issue that really gave you a lot of what Jonah felt about Spider-Man and what he actually saw Spider-Man as. He actually saw him as a hero. What were your impressions on the Ultimate Comics line on the main Spider-Man story?
I'm not a big Spider-Man fan, as I've said in the past. We were talking earlier, and we reviewed the beginning of Superior Spider-Man.
Right.
Spider-Man number 700 last week. And I was, first experience I had with that, I was instantly drawn in to the characters. I didn't get that in this one. I did like J. Jonah Jameson and his whole views on Spider-Man and trying to figure out who Spider-Man is. I think that's a great aspect of his personality that they've brought into that. But I didn't connect with anybody like I did in the other one. Not that I think it's a bad series. I just, like I said, this is the first one I've jumped into. I don't know who any of these characters are.
Yeah, the main part of the book that I really enjoyed, and you mentioned it and I did too just now, J. Jonah Jameson, he does talk about how he would not give up Spider-Man's identity, Peter Parker, because he felt like he would be ruining the superhero, that he would be responsible for giving him up. And in the book he actually says, and all of the good things he would do, whatever they would be, would never happen if I actually revealed that it was Peter Parker. It was me that actually exposed him to the world. It's kind of like his hands are clean at that point, and he doesn't want any part of that. One of the reporters that was going to tell the world who Spider-Man was ends up being killed by Venom, so it's kind of convenient. And then you have the new Spider-Man, Miles, who has his web shooters from Peter Parker from the series Spider-Men. He's kind of still learning how to use them, which is pretty cool. His friend and him are figuring out how to make more web fluid. And then at the very end, you do see Venom. And there's a lot going on with his father as well. We don't want to give away the entire issue, but a lot of the heart is what's going on with Miles' dad. I wouldn't say pass of the week. It was still a pretty good issue. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree.
You really liked the Simpsons one, Bart Simpson, number 78.
I did. This one was really cute. It opens up with the Bartman story. And I love all the Batman references through all of it. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're seeing the picture that pretty much parodies the Killing Joke. It's going to be coming up here. But it does parody the Killing Joke, that scene where Joker first comes out and he's insane, and they do an exact replica of that. It's really funny, and I really enjoyed that too.
I love that he's Dr. Octuplets as well.
Apu with all his kids. Yeah.
Yes, and Doc Ock has a very special place in my heart now after Spider-Man number 700. I thought it was a great issue.
Yeah, and there's the second backup story is Bart really wants to play some basketball, and he's not allowed to do it because they have enough. The roster is pretty much full on the men's basketball team, right?
Well, they only have 7 uniforms, so they have to kick somebody off the team.
So he decides to cross-dress and play on the girls' team, and you kind of see the outcome of that. A lot of gender swapping going on in this week. Like, this is one of the comics that has gender swapping. The other one is Adventure Time, which we're still going to talk about, actually. But overall, did you like the Simpsons one?
I did. It was, I think, when I first started reading The Simpsons, I was kind of hit and miss, but the last few have been very good.
Yeah, Bart Simpson, number 78, very good. This one was better, though. The Simpsons Super Spectacular, number 16. You're especially excited to talk about it.
Yes, and I'm actually going to go with this as my pick of the week. You picked wrong. Yeah, I wouldn't tell him what it was, and he guessed wrong. It was a toss-up. It was very close between the two of them. But this is my pick of the week. It's Bart goes to a comic book shop, and they have a Bartman
manga.
Yeah, but it's not called Bartman. Robartman, whatever it's called. But it's a manga, and almost in every panel there's a nod to something else. So you've got Homer's Totoro under the umbrella, and you see Princess Mononoke in there, and Howl's Moving Castle, and of course Godzilla. It's a giant bee guy. It was so funny, but I loved it because in every single panel I was looking for that little thing. Like there's Pokemon in there and Digimon, and it made me so happy.
A lot of references to the Japanese manga, the cartoons, a lot of the movies.
A lot of
awesome.
Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, really good. I can see why it was your pick, but I didn't guess. That was not my guess.
I surprised you.
What about the backup story with the various superheroes, Radioactive Man?
That one was okay. I think it was worth it just for that first story because it was very clever how they tied in everything.
The value for this was really good too. $2.99 for this book,
awesome.
And you got a lot of pages as well.
Absolutely worth it.
It's a super spectacular that's super cheap in comparison to how they normally do them. Very good. Good pick.
Right. Just as a touch-up, though, the backup story is about the team of superheroes, Radioactive Man superheroes, and one of them dies. And the other team member goes, well, I can just pull one from an alternate universe. So he pulls the same guy. And they go throughout the story where somebody dies and they pull another one until they're out of superheroes and the whole multi-dimension universes and villains are taking over. And the guy who kept pulling them, he's like, oh, well, I'm out of here. And he just leaves them. So it was an okay story, but the first one was great.
The ending was funny, I felt, yeah.
Yeah.
Simpsons Super Spectacular number 16. And we were talking about this one for a while. Adventure Time with Fionna and Cake, number 1 of 6. Very popular episode. And now they gave them their own comic book. The beginning was wonderfully drawn.
It was beautiful.
Gorgeous art. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Saga. The way they laid out the story and the wording and everything.
This first page, I almost want a tattoo of that. Almost, just because it's so
Very
pretty.
Very nice. It was written and illustrated by Natasha Allegri. And it was beautifully done.
This was a toss-up for my pick of the week, so you were close.
I was close. This was, it was between this and the next book for my pick of the week. This was very good. It starts off with a bit of a legend, and that's where the art really shows, and then it kind of goes back into like the Adventure Time style. And you get a little bit of a story, a little bit of a setup. You get Ice Queen. If anyone's not familiar with the Adventure Time, Fionna and Cake, it pretty much gender swaps all the characters. Kind of Princess Bubblegum, LSP.
You've got Lumpy Space Prince, which is LSP with a mustache.
Yeah.
You have Fire Prince, or Flame Prince, I guess is what he's called. And Prince Bubblegum. And Marshall Lee instead of Marceline. It was a cute episode. I love the ending of the episode. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it because it cracks me up. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. But they did a great job of setting up the story. In this one, I'm excited to see where it goes. The reason it wasn't my pick is I think I don't quite like Fiona's character as much as I would like to.
Okay. So far, do you like it more than the first issue of Marceline and the Scream Queens?
Yes, I do like this more than Marceline. I don't like it more than Adventure Time.
Right.
Regular old Adventure Time.
Very good issue, though. Mm-hmm. Now, this was my pick of the week. Very hard decision because there's a lot of good books. Superman Family Adventures number 8. Art Baltazar and Franco. Very good team. Enjoy their podcast so much. But the art here was awesome. Franco did a superb job as always. Always keeping it up.
It's a very cute book. I think it's great for adults and kids. The only thing that made me angry is when they're fighting people and they're fighting the ice person with ice breath. I'm sitting here going, what are you doing? Use heat vision. But it was a good story.
Yeah, this one had more heart than the other ones, I felt. Like, this one got a little bit more serious than the past couple of issues, and I enjoyed that. And the ending was really, really warm. It had a very warm ending. And I felt it was appropriate for the rest of the book, too, because you get a little bit of action, you get some humor as well, and then the ending was a perfect touch to it. Very good book. I think it's the best of the Superman Family Adventures so far.
I agree.
Definitely my pick of the week. Check it out, everyone. Superman Family Adventures number 8. And it's only $2.99. Can't beat that. Completely flip-flopping here. We're going to continue with the DC Comics. But my pass of the week, I, Vampire number 15.
This was not my pass of the week. I can see how it was. It's a filler story. You can't really see where they're going with it yet. I still think the story as a whole has potential, so I wouldn't give up on it just yet, but I could see how it's your pass.
There was a lot going on here. They're confronting the Van Helsings, but you also get like the regular crew trying to figure out how or what made Bennett completely flip-flop and change.
Right. Well, they know what made him flop and change. What they're trying to do is find who created him, because if they can destroy who created him, they can destroy Bennett himself. And they do find him in the end. There is kind of a twist, so I don't know where it's going to go from here. But Bennett's whole purpose is he's breaking into the Van Helsing castle to get into their armory. And do what with it, I'm not sure. But again, it was a filler. I wouldn't pass on it because I still think the story has potential.
Yeah, it is my pass. We'll see where it goes.
Now, this one was my pass of the week. We have Talon number 3. I have not been thrilled with this Talon series.
Talon Beyond.
Talon Beyond.
We'll call it Talon Beyond from now on.
There you go. In this issue, he meets up with his girlfriend, Calvin Rose. Finds his girlfriend, who we hear about in every single issue.
Yeah.
Every issue. And she's got her own little team of owl fighters, we'll call them. And they're trying to break into a bank.
Yeah, they're trying to completely disable the Court of Owls by taking every bit of money they have. Mm-hmm. And this wasn't my pass of the week. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I like that we're introduced to this new team. You still have that Batman Beyond aspect to it, which is why we're still going to call it Talon Beyond. But the art was good. I'm a big fan of Guillaume March. And it's a cool way to disable the Court of Owls, I felt. I like the team aspect to it. I'm enjoying that. And then at the very end, you were like, it's not a twist, but you finally see what the one character that they brought back, one of the worst killers in the Court of Owls team, comes in and you see him confront Calvin Rose for the first time. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
It was okay.
Talon number 3. Batman Beyond Unlimited number 11. Now, usually you get a lot of story in this one. One of the stories in it split into 3. I didn't like as much. But you want to talk about the main story, right? Because
Bruce is amazing. We're continuing with the Jokers. If you remember in the last one, they're just going around and bombing the city. And you find out the king of the Jokers is actually Dana's brother. And he gives his background of why he became a Joker, what he believes a Joker is, and now how he's taking it to the next level of the Joker's not just a person, he's a symbol. He is chaos.
Yeah, it was very good. I kind of wanted to see Bruce kick ass, though. Like, he was taken down so easily. In the last one, he was going on and on.
But he does have liver failure. Give the guy some credit.
What I would have done is have him, like, really beat the shit out of this Joker King for a little bit and then give him the liver failure. Not right away. He trips him once, and now he's done.
Well, you got to give Batfake his moment to shine, though, because you wouldn't have what's coming up next if Bruce beat the shit out of
Batfake
Joker.
Never has moments to shine. It's always Bruce that shines, and then Batfake is just kind of there as a way to lead you to the next time that Bruce shines again.
I do like, though, you get to see more of the current Bat family and how they're all working together for this. You know, you got Tim Drake in the Batcave figuring out how to disarm these bombs remotely, and you have
Robin, a.k.a. Dick Grayson.
A.k.a. Nightwing, a.k.a. Dick Grayson. Robin. Going around kicking the shit out of people.
I'm not Robin. I'm Dick Grayson now.
No, he's Nightwing now.
No, well, he goes
old,
by, yeah.
Old Man Dick.
I'm Old Man Dick. That sounds wrong, so I'm going to call you Robin still. No.
And then you have the DDs in there, and I love that they still refer to the Joker as their one true love.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Mm-hmm. As we all know, the DDs are related to Harley Quinn. I don't know how I felt about it. It was kind of weird. But yeah, they do make a little cameo. Now, the Superman backup story, I kind of enjoyed a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Both good stories.
Oh, except I didn't like the ending in this one, but that's just because I don't like the character.
There's a species that's coming by, and they're coming by to Earth, and they're finding Superman because he supposedly destroyed their planet.
He twisted a certain species on their planet so that they're constantly at war now.
They're getting revenge, and they think that this Superman is the man this alien is the one that completely corrupted their planet, and it's not. And he's trying to explain to them, he's like, guys, that's enough.
Okay, silly willies.
I'm just trying to protect my Bruce. And you guys are interfering with that. But at the very end, you get an awesome reveal, which is why I like the second story better. I'm not going to spoil it. Read it for yourself. It's awesome.
Comedian.
Yeah, it kind of looks like comedian.
It's comedian. That's what I thought. I don't like this character. I know you really like him.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
We'll talk about it next month when the new Batman Beyond comes out. But
I don't like him.
Read it, Batman Beyond Unlimited, number 11. If you're getting it digitally, you already know. Really good reveal, but that last panel, you're right, it does look like the comedian.
It's the comedian.
We're not going to show it on YouTube because that spoils it.
No, you didn't talk about the last story.
Yeah, and then there's one more at the very end. You get the origin, what is that, of Barda, right?
Big Barda.
And the origin of Granny.
Yeah.
In the Batman Beyond universe.
I really liked this artwork.
Oh, yeah, the artwork was great.
It's beautiful. It's an origin story. I liked it. I don't know that if it was as strong as the others, especially towards the ending of it, but the artwork was beautiful.
Yeah, the art was by Ben Caldwell, and it was written by Dustin Nguyen along with Derek Frutos.
Dustin Nguyen!
Your hero.
He's my hero.
Yeah, the art was awesome. What'd you think of the story, though?
Like I said, it wasn't as strong as the others. Again, it is giving the background of a character, so I can understand it's difficult to give as much as they did without it feeling a little slow. So I give them props for it. I still think it was pretty well written. I like how they've set up the character. Again, it was an origin, so it's a little slow.
Yeah, I felt it was the weakest of the three, but I did enjoy how they kind of gave a bit of humanity to Granny.
Mm-hmm.
And to Big Barda as well. When she appeared in the Batman Beyond and the Justice League as well, in the story where they talked more about Batman Beyond and kind of connected him to the Justice League, you didn't really know much about her.
Right, you didn't really care for her.
Exactly. She was just kind of there.
Yeah,
like, not really the new Wonder Woman, but...
She was like the hot girl with less personality.
Yeah.
Like, she just smashed things. And I think this did make you feel for her character much more, especially her loss that they show you at the end.
Yeah, and tells you how she joins Justice League, which connects to that.
I like how gay Superman looks in that last panel, though.
Yeah.
Like, hey, come hang out with us.
Hey, girlfriend.
We can do our toenails.
Now, this was another really good book, and it is the last of what we got this week. Batman The Dark Knight, number 15. It is the final issue that David Finch is going to be doing the artwork for. You're going to have a new artist next month. But this completely wraps up the Scarecrow, which I thought was going to get wrapped up last month, but there's more to it here. Scarecrow completely attacks Gotham City. Fear gas all over the place. And they keep emphasizing how finding a cure for this would take months, weeks, a long time. About halfway through, they kind of figure out that Bruce's blood, since it's already been exposed to the fear gas, is the cure to the city. Is the cure that they need to spread throughout the whole thing. So not to reveal too much, you end up curing the city in a way, and Alfred is super pissed in the way that Batman did it, and also kind of mad at Damian too for being like, well, I'm going to listen to my father.
Yeah, for helping.
This book is a point in which Damian and Alfred are kind of put on separate sides. Because Alfred, on one side, cares more about Bruce Wayne than he does for the city. And Batman says, no, the city is important. The city's more important. This is what Batman does. And Damian's more about listening to his father.
Right. I would say that both Alfred and Damian care equally for Batman. But whereas Alfred's understood that humanity because he's seen him from a boy, he understands Bruce, whereas Damian only understands Batman. And so Damian, in his caring, is seeking to fulfill whatever wishes Batman has, where Alfred just wants to see Bruce thrive as Bruce. He doesn't care so much about Batman.
Alfred ends up, like I said earlier, pretty upset at the outcome, even though Gotham City is saved. Whose side were you on there? Like, do you understand Alfred's...
Absolutely understand Alfred. I would be super pissed if you did what Batman did. I thought it was a great testament to how much Batman loves this city. And again, we don't want to spoil anything because it was that good. Maybe next week we can talk more about it. We'll do a Batman special. We'll go be on Kevin Smith's show and talk about it. But I would have to side with Alfred on it, that what he would have given is not worth the city.
I think I'm going to side with Batman and Damian on this. Like, I understand why Alfred was upset, but read the issue for yourself. Give us your opinion. If you're watching this on YouTube, comment below. Little romance at the end.
Bah. It's not Catwoman. It's not romance.
Between Bruce and Natalia.
No, it's not Catwoman. It's not romance.
Very sweet, I felt.
He was just, in one of those moods, and she was there. And...
Natalia. That kind of sounds like Talia.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. No.
I'll pretend it's Talia.
Look, she's got short hair like Catwoman.
Okay, so you're okay with it then?
Well, no, I'm still not. I did like this ending a lot, too, this last shot. It was very, very good conclusion for Scarecrow.
Next month, we're going to have... Mad Hatter and his origin with the new artist Ethan Van Sciver. Same writer. We still have Greg Hurwitz. Very good issue. Really enjoyed it. Batman The Dark Knight number 15. Awesome. Easily overshadowed, overlooked because of the Batman series by Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder, which has been phenomenal. This you shouldn't miss either.
Yep.
Good things to come, I think. Mad Hatter is going to be good too. And if you listened last week, we did do some Justice League Unlimited and regular Justice League Adventures books that we picked up, and we're kind of working through them. We love the animated series. Batman is the number one thing I enjoy.
You mean Batman and Friends?
And that universe kind of expanding to Superman, the animated series, Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, and so on. And the comic books we were picking up to kind of fill in last week a little bit more, but we've been enjoying so many of them. And Ty Templeton's one of our favorite artists. He does a lot of these covers, so we're like, yeah, let's buy a couple and read them. And they haven't been that bad at all. Like a lot of these kids' books that are based on shows aren't the best, but the Batman adventures that were based on the animated series were awesome. That's where Batman Mad Love originated from. Mm-hmm. So here we're continuing that. Justice League Unlimited number 6. We are finished with the Justice League Adventures. We're now on Justice League Unlimited. This was the story on an older Green Lantern. The Green Lantern kind of growing weaker, but his body is weaker, but his will is strong as ever. Well, here it is a story about retirement. It is about whether or not you should give up being a Green Lantern when your powers start to fail you or when you cannot handle that ring anymore. And in this one, you have Green Arrow, you got Green Lantern, Red Tornado, and of course, this Green Lantern is your favorite Green Lantern.
Black Lantern.
John
Stewart.
Yep.
The best Green Lantern ever.
And you do have them in the middle of a fight, and when it's most critical for him this is the older Green Lantern, to actually save the day and to use his powers, he almost fails. And John Stewart, at the last second, saves them all. And I thought this was going to be a story. It was a bit of a twist. I thought it was going to be one of those things where he's like, oh yeah, I still got it. I'm going to prove to you, Green Arrow and all them, every single species of the universe says that I should retire. But look, I still got it. Not the case.
Nope, he does at the end. He's like, yeah, I probably do need to give it up and find someone to take over for me. In his defense, he's been doing this for hundreds of years, they do point out.
His name is Zybar.
I wasn't unhappy with the ending. I did like the guys that they were fighting, their superpowers. They high-five each other, and there's an explosion.
So what I didn't like about it is they're like, okay, so you're going to retire. You're going to be a teacher and teach the rest of these Green Lanterns how to use your power. And I'm like, oh, come on. This is what he's been reduced to. If I was him, I would just off myself.
No, that's terrible.
That was Justice League Unlimited number 6. This one was really cool. Justice League Unlimited number 8.
Mm-hmm. This follows the question.
Yes, who is the question?
Who is the question? Who is Rorschach? I mean, the question. I did like this one. The only thing I didn't like, it was the stereotype. Well, okay, we'll start first. The question doesn't trust anybody. He's a loner and an outcast, so he goes through all the air ducts once a week, and this particular time he finds a bomb with nerve gas, and it's the kind that, no matter the alien race, it would have wiped him out. It would have been fatal. So he goes around and he's trying to figure out, whose mind is being controlled and by whom, so that he can put a stop to this. And of course, it turns out in the end, it's his mind being controlled, and he was the one. And I'm tired of this plot.
It was kind of funny, though, seeing how he's the guy that's paranoid, and he suspects everyone but himself. You're the guy that's paranoid and conspiracy theorist, and turns out it's you. But you're right, we've seen this twist before. Right.
Well, we saw it a couple issues ago with Martian Manhunter, and I think that one had a stronger ending where it was the clone. And then, for just that brief moment, he had a name. And the question at the end of this one, he's like, maybe I should have some friends.
Yeah.
Like, no question, be a loner.
Moving on to Justice League Unlimited number 20. Gorgeous cover by Ty Templeton. Mm-hmm. I know the original art to this went for hundreds of dollars. I think it might have hit.
Mary Marvel.
Who
is Captain Marvel's sister.
Yeah.
It was a girl power issue. I'm not big on girl power issues.
Who was it that sent them out? Like, pretty much what they're doing is they get sent out as a team. Was it Red Tornado or Martian Manhunter?
Martian Manhunter sent them out.
Martian Manhunter sends them out, and he logically thinks, okay, who would be best for this mission? And she's trying to figure out why she got sent. The whole point of this issue is you find out she plays her part in this team, and she now fits because she is a recent member of the Justice League.
Well, her whole issue is she doesn't understand because she has the same powers as a man. How is she worth more than that man? So Supergirl takes her to a battle where Wonder Woman's there, some more nobodies. Hot Girl, and some more nobodies. And at the end she illustrates, they weren't picked because they were women. They were picked because of how they used their powers compared to their male counterparts. And that's what the whole issue was.
Yeah, so almost like strike 3 there. That was Justice League Unlimited number 20. Justice League Unlimited number 23, another great cover by Ty Templeton, if you're seeing this on YouTube. This one's got the Royal Flush Gang. And this issue defines what a hero is, but to the Justice League, specifically to Martian Manhunter. It is a Martian Manhunter issue. Yeah, they're fighting the Royal Flush Gang, the Justice League, Batman's there, you got Black Canary, Superman, Martian Manhunter. But kind of halfway through the fight or whatever, he saves a cop who says, oh, I wasn't doing anything. I'm just, a cop. You guys are the real heroes. This is what you really do. And Martian Manhunter, in disguise, explains to him, well, a cop is more important or as important than a superhero. Firemen, all these people, they're doing a larger part of the work than we are. We just come in when it's most disastrous, stop it. You guys are holding it up the rest of the time. And it's like, oh, well, that was a good ending to the issue. But then they kind of flip it again where Martian Manhunter is there and the cop comes back and explains to him how he's a bigger hero, how the superheroes are actually the more important ones. I was like, well, that kind of ruined the message of the issue.
I did like, though, that because starting from the beginning of the issue, you're following a detective who is questioning different people about their experience. And I kind of interpreted that as Martian Manhunter understands that this could have been traumatic, and he's checking with those people just to make sure that, that little kid was in there and there were villains in the bank, and he's making sure that he's okay. And I did like, that's how I interpreted it. I did like that they brought that out of Martian Manhunter. That yes, he can save these people, but he also cares enough about them to make sure that they're going to be okay beyond the physical threat.
Yeah.
The one thing I wanted, though, and this is all Justice League, the animated show's fault, is you have Ace on the front from the Royal Flush. And I teared up when I saw her, and I just wanted Batman to just hold her hand. And I knew that wasn't going to happen. But
yeah, I absolutely see what you're saying.
I would have loved that.
If you guys haven't seen that episode, it's so good.
It's not a Steffi knows, it's me crying.
The episode's called Epilogue of Justice League Unlimited.
A fantastic episode.
Wraps up Batman Beyond, but it gives you a flashback and kind of an ending to Ace from the Royal Flush Gang. And a very touching moment with Batman. Something I don't think either of us will ever forget.
Okay, Paul Dini, stop choking up there.
This one was, these next 2 issues, I'm going to say find them, buy them if you can. Download them off of Comixology. I think they're only $1 or $2. Justice League Adventures number 34. I purposely left these to the end. This one is big on Batman. A lot of emphasis on how he views things as opposed to Superman.
That's why Superman loves him so much, because he's so different.
So dark and broody.
He's an enigma. You can't figure him out.
Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see, or you're watching right now, Batman gets caught in Metropolis by Superman. And you can be Superman here because people are watching it.
Well, now, is this a social call, or has one of your Gotham lunatics decided to move to Metropolis?
His hands are on his hips, and Batman's like, ugh.
Very gay pose right there. This next one's pretty gay, too. Look at that.
Yeah, on the next page, yeah. If any of you are listening to this for the first time, Kelli and I, it's not a theory. We know that Superman is super gay for Batman. He's in love with Batman. People aren't seeing it, but they will as we keep doing this.
And my superpower is send me any picture of Superman, and I will tell you how he's being gay for Batman in that moment.
He's in love with Batman. We're not saying Superman's not gay. He's just gay for Batman.
Yes.
Yeah. And many of you will say, well, who isn't? And you're right. Not necessarily even the plot is what was good about this issue. You do have an older Lex Luthor that tries to stop both Batman and Superman. It's more about the reminders, the little things, the way that both Superman and Batman remember events or hold on to things is completely different, completely the opposite. Superman is all about friendship and the people that helped him save the world a family to share things with. That's why he keeps a certain thing that kind of weakened both of the characters. He keeps it in a glass case, and he says, "This is what I want to remember." He even says, "Truly, I am blessed." Like that's a little page.
Well, and what it is it's a piece from his past, and that's why he keeps it to remember the family that saved him when he crashed on Earth, and the family that he's made now. Again, Batman has a piece from his past. Just think of the most tragic thing ever, and that's what he has.
Yep.
And Batman's whole thing is, this is what destroyed my life. This is, both of them, what they have is what made them. But whereas Superman sees it as a blessing, Batman sees it as a curse. And he goes, I don't need reminders. And he throws it away.
Yep, throws it down into the depths of the Batcave. Mm-hmm. Which I thought was interesting because he has a museum in his Batcave. He keeps a lot of things.
I don't think he would keep that, though. I don't think it. Because his every waking moment is a reminder. He doesn't need a further reminder.
He keeps a giant Joker card.
Yeah, do you think he remembers that one fight with Joker all the time? No. Do you think he remembers that moment of his life every second of the day? Absolutely. Every time he puts on that cape and cowl, that's what he's thinking of.
Death of his parents, yep.
Yes.
Find that issue, Justice League Adventures number 34. It's number 34, very good issue. Next is Justice League Unlimited number 24. Another cover by Ty Templeton, awesome. This one has Starro completely taking over the Justice League and Martian Manhunter being the only one that can save them all. How many times has the Martian Manhunter saved the Justice League in these books?
A billion times. I think it's because in the actual show you didn't see much of him, so they're trying to make up for it in the comics. But it is another Martian Manhunter trying to make friends.
Well, what the tragedy behind this issue is, he's remembering his family. He's remembering how during a storm if they were to be separated, it would completely destroy him. And he found the strength. He realized that he must be the strong one in his family to come through. And that parallels what's going on with the Justice League as they're taking over. He knows that he is the one that must be strong and save them and push through it. And it's symbolized further by the fact that at one point
he lets himself get taken over.
Yeah.
So he can go into the mind of Starro and destroy him from the inside.
And right, like how we were saying earlier, he pushes right through it, and he saves the Justice League. There's a really good moment between him and Batman, which I enjoy. I like seeing Martian Manhunter and Batman interact. In the show, you had that, they kind of clashed a little bit when Martian Manhunter's like, well, you are the only one of us without powers, and it's okay to feel weak at some point. And that's when Batman completely ignores him, and he's like, I'm taking the javelin, unless you want to try and stop me. And Martian Manhunter just says, no.
He just steps to the side.
He just lets him through. It was awesome. But here, Batman says, John, what you did to save us all on your own. I can only imagine what you went through. And, Martian Manhunter talks a little bit about how he didn't want to lose the Justice League, and that's what got him through it all.
Well, and what he actually says is, I was not going to lose all of you. Not again. And when he says that, he's referring to how he had lost his family, how he considers, even though he's lost so much, the Justice League has still stepped in place as his family. And I like that, he apologizes. He's like, I'm sorry, that probably didn't make any sense, but Batman completely understands where he came from. And I don't think Batman sees the Justice League as his family, but
he's thinking of his own parents,
right,
I'm sure.
He's thinking of his own loss.
Yeah.
That he was unable to stop.
And I think that'll do it for comics. A couple of back issues we looked at. We looked at this week's. Very good picks. Awesome week for comics. Good way to start 2013. We also read the Wonder Woman trade, which is the New 52. Covers the first couple of issues. And we hadn't read Wonder Woman before this, but we're trying to sort of read the trades as they come out. And I know you and I really liked the Wonder Woman book.
It was phenomenal.
People should be picking it up. It's very appropriately like it should be. A lot of Greek mythology in it. Zeus, just like you would expect, he is a pimp. He's running around.
Sleeping with all the ladies.
They draw him. How many different bodies is he in? He's like this strong man at one point that fights this other lady, seduces her. And you find out that Wonder Woman, that is her father, right? Zeus is her dad.
Right.
And, of course, Hera, being the jealous wife that she is, because Zeus is running around with all these ladies, wants to destroy Wonder Woman, especially when we find out that Wonder Woman is the daughter of Zeus. And the whole time, she gets the god of the sea and
Poseidon and Hades.
God damn it, yeah. I gotta brush up on my Greek mythology.
I love Greek mythology. She teams up with... Because Zeus is missing. And so Hera has taken over Mount Olympus. And so she tries to convince Poseidon and Hades, which are both Zeus's brothers, that one of them should step into place and or split it into 3 parts and each of them rule at a different time. She does this mainly to distract Hera, because Hera has a mirror, like a portal where you can look at anybody at any time.
Reminds me of Beauty and the Beast.
So she distracts Hera enough that she can go and destroy that. So how the book begins is you have a woman who's actually pregnant with Zeus's child. And so Wonder Woman and Hermes have been placed in charge of making sure that she survives, and that main objective is to keep Hera away from her so Hera doesn't kill her.
Yeah, and you see it all unfold. We don't want to give out the whole trade, but highly recommend picking up that trade if you can.
The first half, I really liked the art in the first half.
Oh, yeah, the artwork is gorgeous.
It was gorgeous, and then it changed in the second half. I didn't like it as much. Yeah. But it was a great story.
Highly recommended.
Funny parts with Hades.
Yeah, good parts with Hades, yeah. And also Nintendo Force. Nintendo Force we haven't talked about yet. We did say Nintendo Power was over. We talked about the last issue a couple podcasts ago. Well, Nintendo Force is something that's forming, and it is going to be a new magazine. I'm going to read off right here from the actual website, and you're seeing this on YouTube as well. Nintendo Power is no more. It was exactly 4 months ago today when the news first went out. The magazine would be coming to an end at the end of the year. December's issue would be the last. At the time, it was a little hard to absorb. After all, back in August, we were still months away from that moment. We still had issues to look forward to. But now that moment's come and gone, and reality is sinking in. Nintendo Power is officially a thing of the past. There's nothing else ahead. No more issues to look forward to. Or are there? It's my pleasure to introduce you, Nintendo fans around the world, to the all-new Nintendo Force magazine. Make sure to go on Twitter. The Twitter name is @NintendoForce. And right there on the actual Twitter, you'll see it says the all-new spiritual successor to Nintendo Power launching this month, January 2013. Be sure to check out their website, NintendoForceMagazine.com. It's got the full list of the staff. A lot of those names you'll recognize if you follow any of the websites, IGN, 1UP, especially Brawl in the Family. Big edition, very important that they got that. Not only will you get the regular magazine and the mail physical copy, but with the subscription, you also get the digital version too. And even the logo itself is a throwback to Nintendo Power with the stripes, the different lines. So we are very excited, I think, to check out this Nintendo Force magazine. I think it's going to be good for reviews as well. I don't know if they're directly connected to Nintendo. I don't think they are. I think that was the problem with Nintendo Power is they didn't want to renew their contract or their connection to the magazine, even though the magazine was doing fine. It was making money. But this one, from what I understand, it's more independent from Nintendo than Nintendo Power was, and that's a good thing. They have more freedom on what they can cover, how they review their games. I think this magazine could potentially be better than Nintendo Power.
You mean everything won't get 9 points?
For the longest time, yeah, every Mario game. What I liked about the other issue of Nintendo Power though is they kind of stuck it a little bit to Nintendo. I think they gave the New Super Mario Brothers like an 8.
Yeah, I thought it was like a 6.
It was. I don't think it was that low,
no.
But it was like I was like, whoa, this would usually be like a 9.5 or a 10. But Nintendo Force, make sure to check them out. Again, Twitter is @Nintendo Force. Really good stuff coming, I think. Other than that, I'm pretty sure that's it for the week. Longer podcast, almost as long as last week's, if not longer, I think. Very good. I think we're going to start talking about Dead Space 3 soon. A lot of good games coming out.
Super excited. I love Dead Space.
Yeah.
My favorite games, Pokemon, Harvest Moon, and Dead Space.
2 kids games, and then boom.
Not kids games, amazing games. And then Dead Space.
Games for everyone, and then Dead Space.
Yes. Yes. I'm like the Dead Space. He'll be playing through Dead Space, and he'll walk around a corner. I'll be eating popcorn. You see a guy lying dead. I'm like, he's alive. Shoot him. And he's like, he's not alive. And then he gets killed.
I don't get killed that often in Dead Space, but I do get hurt, and I'm like, oh, better not use my gun, because Resident Evil's taught me one thing. Don't use bullets. So I start stomping the hell out of these Dead Space monsters.
You pick up their claws and shoot them at their heads.
Any little piece that I can use that's not a bullet, I will. And Dead Space is kind of more liberal with how you can use your bullets, and it's not, you don't have to conserve your ammo as much as Resident Evil, but I'm still in that mindset, especially because Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. So yeah, I'll pick up a can or whatever that's on the floor, and I'll just use it to at least startle the monster to like put him back a little bit, and then I'll run up and start hitting him with my hands. Pretty sure that's not how you're supposed to play it, but fuck it. That's how I play.
That's what you do.
But I think that'll do it for this week.
You can check us out on Twitter at ReasonsI'mBroke, #ReasonsI'mBroke.
Let us know what made you broke this week. If you're enjoying the show, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, all the good stuff.
My challenge still stands. Send me a picture of Superman. I'll tell you how he's gay. If you can stump me, there will probably be a prize.
Well, yeah, we've given out Microsoft points in the past, so we'll give out something if you can stump Kelly. A picture of Superman and how she can somehow...
If you send me a picture and I can't make him gay... Then, or I can't show you how he's gay.
For Batman.
For Batman. Then you will get a prize. But it won't happen, so...
So yeah, once again, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelli.
Thanks for listening. See you next week.